Hey everybody, it's Alexander Dahl with Manifest Brutality once again. So I'm coming at Jim with yet another video. Um, this is going to be another interview. There's a few left to go. I've got them all edited down, and then we can wrap up Wave 2. And then after Wave 2 is finished, I'll probably take a break for a few weeks, and then we'll pick up and start the next wave. But alas, without further ado, we'll just go ahead and get into this interview. Here you go. All right, so I'm currently on the phone with Jerome Treadwell. He's one of the Minneapolis musicians that reached out to me about the current interview series, so I'll go ahead and give him a chance to introduce himself.
Hey everyone, my name is Jerome Treadwell. Um, it's an honor to be on here this call doing this interview, especially during the time of the pandemic where we can't be together. But awesome to see that um, this fine sir is making a way for musicians to be connected and get their voice amplified and etc. So, like I said again, my name is Jerome Treadwell. I'm a multi instrumentalist. My main instrument though is saxophone. I play from primarily jazz, gospel, concerts, fanfare type music, etc. Heavy on the Black American stylistic music, and I play throughout the Twin Cities. Been getting a lot of opportunities actually to play more during this pandemic, which is surprising, as many people haven't been able to find gigs and etc. So from live streaming shows to outdoor events, especially with the uprising of George Floyd, there's a lot of community events in Minneapolis. So I've donated my time and kind of used music as a catalyst to, amplify my voice in ways that not everyone can express themselves, and that is through music. So I'm 16 years old. I currently live in St. Paul, but you could say my second home is Minneapolis, as that's where most of my engagements are. Um,
Sure.
but I first started. My first major gig was in sixth grade. That was at the Twin Cities Jazz Festival over in Mears Park, downtown St. Paul, and I've been climbing and progressing ever since then, from corporate gigs to wedding gigs to church gigs to the orchestra hall, so many live venues that have been graceful enough to allow me to invoke my voice as a youth, as a Black American, as a musician entirely. So that's just a little bit about who I am and what I do and how I decided to use music as more than just a sound, but as a powerful statement to bring about change, bring about peace, bring about hope, and involving communities while doing so through the outreach work that I do.
Awesome. So let's kind of go back a little bit. What were some of like the seminal moments of when music really touched you, like as a child, and made you realize that that was the direction that you wanted to go in?
So yeah, my mom actually involved me in a ton of different things, from martial arts, to sports, to chess club, to swim team. I can go on and on. And I was able to find my niche in sports, that being football and music. So I began playing saxophone in the fourth grade. Kind of what sparked that was at my elementary school, they had introduced band, went to the homeroom classrooms and offered instrumentation opportunities. And um, I was exposed to like a jazz book of this little brown boy who was playing saxophone in New Orleans, and that kind of, when you see something, you want to be like that
Mm-hmm.
growing up. If it's superhero, or if it's someone who looks like you or you can relate to,
Mm-hmm.
playing music, and being brought up in the church. Music is a kind of a essential piece to the Christian practices. So it was awesome to relate to that as far as the music piece, and that style of playing really influenced me in the classroom and outside the classroom. So this is my seventh year playing saxophone. Throughout the times I picked up flute, clarinet, piano, drums, etc., bass guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and um, key moments in my life that I feel like music has been able to touch me most powerfully is when I can see how other people are moved, touched, emotionally, spiritually, from my playing. So I just did this event with Minnesota Humanitarian Center, and it was kind of focused on, discussions on what's been going on today as far as
Mm-hmm.
racial discrimination and racial justice and etc. So even from the pre-recording I did, I'm just watching the people in that Zoom call being touched from tears to chat messages to smiles, and it's just really motivating and encouraging
Mm-hmm.
to see people being so touched by just a simple note that I think is you know me just playing, but really it's more of a powerful statement, which is super cool.
Sure.
And
So, oh, go ahead.
yeah, that's no, that's it. I can go on about different engagements that
Sure.
you know.
So, the question that I have is like, through that process, learning or beginning on saxophone and then beginning with other instruments, what do you think was kind of the key element that allowed you to branch into so many different opportunities to either perform live or with church? Like, what was something that really kind of made people realize that you might be capable of a larger participation?
Getting in the shed, practicing, is really uh, your boldest statement that you can make.
Hmm.
Um, Not only being most of the time the only black individual in an ensemble in a school band, but striving to perfect my craft kind of translated into more opportunities.
Hmm.
My attitude towards music, my attitude towards other individuals, my willingness to listen and learn,
Hmm.
um, which was really important when, you know, wanting to be on the next level mainstream line, is learning from people who are seasoned, who are elders. I always made sure that I surrounded myself around people who are better than me.
Hmm.
And from that, um, when the obvious intimidation moments would be anticipated, I kind of had the ability to reject that and really just go out on confidence and go out on just sharing the universal language of music. So more opportunities came from one, me putting in the footwork, from branding myself on social media, to not being, greedy in the monetary amount. So
Hmm.
as an upcoming artist, especially having the opportunity being young, where my sole career doesn't need to be based on income because I'm still under the care
Hmm.
of my house. It's
Hmm.
super cool how I can know I'm beginning to know my worth, but I still am conscious of, like, not everyone has a budget for a musician.
Right.
And using my music more as a therapy and ministry rather than a profit, at least in this stage of my
Hmm.
career. So I'm not a perfect musician. I haven't put in 10,000 hours yet, but um, I'm to that level enough where I can, put a stipend of, um, a couple $100, per se, whatever
Sure.
the event may be. If it's a corporate thing, more. If it's a private event, if it's a school event. So, really not being humbleness took me to the place that I am today, and I'm still learning and growing from so many musicians, and it's so awesome and encouraging, and I just love it so much
Sure.
because most of my mentors are in music, and music has, been that catalyst for so many things. Science proves that music can translate to STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Hmm.
And through my endeavors and studies in music, I've been able to translate becoming a better person in school, STEM, and engaging with communities and fellowshipping with other musicians, and so much more comes just from the sound of music, which is why I love it so much.
Definitely. So, what would you say are a couple of like the huge events that you've done that really kind of stick with you memory wise?
Um, One was I was in a well, first, I'll start from a timeline perspective. So the jazz festival was pretty huge. It was great, being on the same bill as some of the local pioneers of the jazz scene.
Hmm.
Um, Another one would be the orchestra hall was pretty sweet. I was in honors band, which was like more of a concert,
Mm-hmm.
fanfare stylistic band, and it was cool playing on the stage where the Minnesota Orchestra played and so many um, phenomenal classical artists. So the acoustics and everything regarding that was sweet. Um, let's see what else. Well, I posted some things on social media and it's gotten recognized by artists. Let's see. Private event with NAACP where there was headliner artists appearing. I don't, there's so much stuff, man. I can't even
Sure.
remember it. Like it's been so many. I did a corporate thing with foundation founded by George W. Bush.
Okay.
It came in for a convention here. Um,
Well, okay. So from where you are now, where would you like to see your musical career progress to?
would definitely. I really need to start recording stuff. I need to work on my first project because I'm literally gigging every weekend and it's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sweet actually. Meeting different people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is non-profit organization oriented. A lot of it is um, mainline venue oriented from like First Avenue to Hooks and Ladder Theater and from
Mm-hmm.
these the Ice House Pimento. Dakota Jazz Club was another sweet thing I got to check off my bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of being a jazz fanatic, seeing like the Marcelluses come on that stage, kind of these modern bands like uh, Ghost Note and etc. Some
Mm-hmm.
of the huge jazz giants like Kenny Garrett, Chris Potter, Joshua Redman.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to play on the stage that most of my quote unquote icons have played on,
Sure.
that's pretty dope.
Very cool.
uh, so yeah, that's probably when yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And so, how would you like to kind of see that progress, like to further your career?
for sure. So I I want to be on Kenny Garrett's daddy. No, Kenny G, not Kenny Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny G. There's two. Kenny Garrett plays more straight ahead jazz, swing. Kenny G is more of a smooth guy. Not a huge fan of Kenny G,
Mm-hmm.
just as a jazz snob, but um, definitely his legacy and his kind of his presence. He packs out stadiums type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely where I want to see myself at, packing out stadiums just for playing saxophone. Um, Playing, um, Saturday Night Live, house band, The Voice house band, stuff like that.
Sure.
Where else? Um, Playing alongside with other musician giants, kind of playing at some of the big, large jazz festivals, like the Montreal, some in California, some in New York.
So,
And really,
would you define like your playing style? Like, how do you feel that you uniquely express your voice through the instrument?
so I treat the saxophone like it's a songbird, someone singing.
Mm-hmm.
So I really am able to, put a lot of soul, when I play, if it's five people, if it's 5,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
I really put, a lot into a performance, from the passion and heart. So I describe myself as a soulful, passionate, unique, a little different, cause I try to combine a lot of different styles I play.
Sure.
Um, if I was just to blow, without being in any constraint or any expectation, I consider myself really um, unpredictable as far as like where I navigate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Really colorful. I like to play colorful so that you know I can bring you through a climax. I like to tell a story. How
Sure.
about that? I like to tell a story when I play. So if it's dramatic, if it's just a roller coaster
Sure.
of different quote unquote turns of events. So I can adapt if I'm playing on at Orchard Hall, classically, or if I'm playing at Dakota Jazz Club jazz, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing at at bunkers where Prince played a lot. I'll do some funk stuff. So all these venues that I've played at kind of have a different setting, have a different band on the bill where I've been able to play accordingly.
Sure. So, what are some websites where people can kind of check out some of your playing?
Yeah, see, that's the question I wasn't hoping I get. So actually, right now, I'm trying to get up some money to do a Christmas album,
Okay.
and this Christmas album is going to be great. So it's gonna have some jazz, have some gospel, have some classical. It's gonna be a plethora of different genres.
You're
Yet
gonna have
unique
to get
to
on that right quick if you want it out this
yeah.
Christmas.
So actually, I have pretty much all the arrangements ready.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I have the band and the arrangements in the studio.
Oh, okay,
I just got to
cool.
record it. Yeah.
Sure.
So hopefully that happens. But you can find me on Jerome Treadwell Music on Facebook to be updated, or just my personal account.
Okay.
I'm a little bit more
So you
active
don't have
on
any
my main
recordings
account.
on like Bandcamp or SoundCloud or anything like that?
I just feature in a lot of stuff at this point.
Okay.
So you can find me on Instagram. I do some covers there. That's Jerome Treadwell Music. But no, I'm actually releasing. I have a virtual concert I just did,
Mm-hmm.
and it is called the Twin Cities Gospel Virtual Takeover. You can look
Okay.
up our website at www.tcgospeltakeover.com. I've partnered with Hooked and Ladder, the current Nubel Presents, Star Tribune, and a bunch of different other KBEM.
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed them coming up. And Pulse, the NAACP, and a bunch of different sponsors and partners to put this together. And basically, what it has is it's a Christian type of thing. It was sparked by my awareness for a need for peace and for music healing. So regardless if you're religious or not, I would encourage you to check it out. So the streaming for that will take place on October 24th. That's
Mm-hmm.
7 p.m. Platform will be Crowdcast. Um, and I put together, a bill of a lot of pioneers and giants in the gospel scene of the Twin
Mm-hmm.
Cities. So Javante Patton, he's a number one Billboard charting gospel artist. James Greer and Company. They've been featured on um, live TV. So you know how there's The Voice, there's America's Got Talent. There's a gospel version of that, which is
Mm-hmm.
called Sunday's Best. So a couple different other groups have been premiered on that. Um, the Hearst Family, they're huge in the Twin Cities. Treasures Youth Choir hit number one on the Billboard charts.
Sure.
Um, Billy Steele, he's a Grammy award winning artist. He produced a lot of the things for the Sound of Blackness,
Mm-hmm.
and Sarah Rand and Tanya Hughes. So it's a pretty heavy list. And I
Uh-oh.
was fortunate to get all these award winning, from Dove to Grammy to Stellar award winning artists to take place a part of this. So
Yeah, that's very
again, for
cool.
more info, it's tcgospeltakeover.com again, and you can check it out on my page. Use code TC Gospel in all caps to get $5 off ticket sales.
Nice.
And the link is there.
So what I like to do is I like to give the person I'm interviewing essentially like the last word. So basically just a message that you want to put out there that you kind of feel resonates with you.
Okay. Um, for me, my last words would be kind of, I've always tried to um, live beyond the stereotypes and live beyond um, kind of the societal norms, especially in the state of Minnesota. And that being, involving a lot of communities in different things, trying to be inclusive, giving opportunities to people who look like me who may not have, the platform that I do, um, and really pushing for equity in music education. So I'm working with a lot of organizations right now, from McPhail to Walker West to Minnesota Jazz Education, and a bunch of different organizations who are, kind of the mainline music education programs, and trying to find a way that we can um, be proactive in supporting youth and minority who may not have the same opportunity and platform to learn and to perform as those who are not minorities. So um, I'm always encouraging my peers to be great, to involve themselves in different curricular activities and stuff like that, because I really want to see everyone win. So my last words really will be is, if you are, a youth who is contemplating whether, you should do this or you should do that, or you should just, go through the motions, I believe that whatever you do, you should put 110% in. And the reason why I kind of am able to call on somebody if I need them or learn from somebody is because I've actively uh, reached out to, a lot of people who are inspiring, who are CEOs and presidents and Grammy Award winners, and, really try to um, soak myself in their knowledge. So whatever you do, remain humble, remain seeking to learn more information from those who've done it before you. Stay true to yourself and always go 110% in something you love so that you can be your own boss one day, or you can have a profession and a career in something you love rather than something that you dread going to work every day for, or something like that. So that's just a couple words.